use Twitter more. Yeah, Twitter's okay. I mean, Twitter's definitely not a perfect platform. I mean, Twitter definitely has its own issues. But yeah, I tend to use Twitter more than I say between Twitter and Insta, the ones that I tend to use the most. Well, outside of YouTube, obs. Um, yeah, Twitter and Insta are the ones I use the most. I like Instagram, but yeah, I think when it comes to Twitter and Insta, the thing to be careful with is it's so easy to spend a lot of time on those platforms. Um, and that's coming from somebody who actively posts their content on those platforms. So yeah, I get it. It sounds a bit hypocritical, but you know, it is. That's the truth of the matter. Is that it's so easy to spend a lot of time sucked into those platforms because, especially if you're following people that you're generally sort of interested in, right? Okay, we're going with Roadhog now. And they're posting this, they're posting that. You post a funny video, you post an interesting comment, and you just kind of find yourself scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and reading all this stuff. And then before you know it, you're just there for ages. What's that, mate? So yeah, I like the platforms. I think there's a lot of benefits in those platforms. I think there's a lot of good that can come out of them, but you just be mindful that there are also a lot of pitfalls as well. So be responsible with. So if I feel like that's something that should be taught in school at this point, social media etiquette or social media responsibility, and how to use social media in a way to get the most out of it without it being detrimental to your life. Because I feel like as we I mean, we're becoming more and more. We're using social media much more and more. So it is very much a way of life. I mean, think about the fact that if you're 20 years old now, you are a fully grown adult that pretty much your whole life, all you know is social media. Like, you wouldn't really remember a time before Facebook. Not really. I mean, you might have a vague memory of, I don't know, MySpace or something. But if you're 20 now, then you are an adult that pretty much their whole life is social media. And being on social media and having an account and posting things and reading people's posts and likes and retweets and shares and this, that, and the other, that is the vast majority of your life experience. And so to me, I feel like, yeah, having courses or having something in schools that recognizes that and says, look, okay, look, this is an important part of our lives now, but you have to understand that there are pitfalls that come with these things. People, sometimes people get too attached to the too attached to the whole thing about likes and how many likes you get and that kind of external validation that it offers, or the instant gratification that it can offer. And we can't always separate that in terms of when we post something and it doesn't get any sort of attention. Does that mean that what I posted is bad and stupid? Should I post something else? And I feel like we need something like that says, okay, life isn't just about how many likes you get, how many people retweet your stuff, because that's very superficial at times. The things that we like oftentimes aren't even things that we actually like. People click like on things because it's popular, because other people like it, and they feel like some kind of obligation to. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when you click and like on stuff, it's not even something that you like. It's just because it feels that's what you're supposed to click like on. But then we attach our self-worth to that a lot of times, especially when it comes to younger people. That's, your whole experience of life, your self-worth, your self-value gets attached to this idea of likes and how many likes you get. And to be fair, even not just younger people, older people do this as well, because it is such a massive part of how we communicate and how we interact with people now, that it's hard not to, to compare yourself to what other people's doing and what they're getting. And that person said this and they got 100,000 likes. I said a similar thing 2 weeks earlier. Nobody cared. What does that mean? We all do that on some kind of subconscious level. So yeah, I feel like this sort of thing should be taught in schools now, because if it's a part of our lives, fine, but we need to know how to handle it responsibly. And not to say parents don't have a role to play, of course, but because it is such a widespread, ubiquitous thing that we have in the world now. It just makes sense to me that this would be part of schooling on social media etiquette, social media responsibility, how to use social media in ways that can benefit you and avoid ways that, you know, ruin you. But hey, it's my mini rant.